All right, another week. Here we go. Gonna push it pretty crazy this week, I think. 35 miles is my goal. So I'm gonna have to spread out the miles a little bit. I have my half marathon coming up. Looking to get a PR. That's in just under 2 weeks. Today's Monday. It'll be 2 weeks from yesterday. So yeah, just working on speed. Try not to push myself too hard. Kind of worried that 35 might be a lot this week. Kind of worried about doing a half marathon on Friday this week before my actual half marathon, but we'll see how it goes. Been doing a lot of running. 4 days, definitely the most I've ever run in my life. One thing about running, it takes a lot of time. But no, it's good for me. It's worth it. I love it. Really can't live without it. I'm kind of realizing I'm the person that needs to keep doing something over and over. Because if I get out of that, then I'm not really feeling it. Today, not really feeling that much. But we're gonna get it regardless. So let's do it. 10 miles. See you after. 10 miles. 8:11 pace, I believe. Good. Pretty good. Beat my last 10-mile run by 10-second pace. Feeling pretty good. Like I said, I wasn't really feeling that run, but like midway through, felt amazing. Felt really good. That's one of those things sometimes, just you don't really want to do it, but you do it anyways, and you feel good about it. That's how I feel right now. It's a good run. Get tomorrow and the next day and Friday. See ya. Doing something a little crazy today to end this week. 13 miles, a half marathon. I have my half marathon coming up, not this Sunday, but the next Sunday. So doing a little preparation, see where I'm at. Don't know how much it's gonna help me in my training, but I'm excited. 35 miles on the week in total. Gonna see where my body's at. Not really sure how I'm gonna train next week, but I'm gonna worry about that next week. Because today I'm gonna do a 13-mile run, see how that goes. Weather's super nice, sun's out, not too hot. It's time to get it. See ya. Doing something a little crazy today to end this week. 13 miles, a half marathon. I have my half marathon coming up, not this Sunday, but the next Sunday. So doing a little preparation, see where I'm at. Don't know how much it's gonna help me in my training, but I'm excited. 35 miles on the week in total. Gonna see where my body's at. Not really sure how I'm gonna train next week, but I'm gonna worry about that next week. Because today I'm gonna do a 13-mile run, see how that goes. Weather's super nice, sun's out, not too hot. It's time to get it. See ya. Alrighty, 13 miles in the books. Feels good. I beat my old half marathon PR by almost 10 minutes. Not quite. I'm right at 150. Which feels good. Improved a lot, but I still leave some improvement for the actual race next Sunday. Felt pretty good throughout. Around 2 or 3 miles, been feeling like some pain in my left lower leg. Just not really pain, but I'd say tightness. That's something that's been pretty constant in my marathon training over this couple weeks, especially long runs. Mostly I'm feeling after a day's rest, so I'm not sure if that has anything to do with it, or it's always like during my long runs, so maybe I'm trying to pace myself and running a little weird, but usually I can power through it. I did today and it didn't hurt. The rest of the run, around 5 miles, felt pretty great, and it kind of had a negative split, which is pretty good for me. And I kind of end this week improvements in all sorts of ways. First was the 10 miles at a faster pace, and then I did 6 miles instead of 5 miles, and for Tuesday and Wednesday, and I beat my my 10K pace on Wednesday, just under 8 minutes, which was my previous 5-mile record pace, and beat my pace today as well. So doing a lot of running, and I'm doing it fast, and I don't really know where the end is, but I guess we'll have to find out, because we got 35 miles this week, and I'd say mission accomplished. I think I'm ready for half marathon coming up. I'm gonna run I'm gonna kind of keep a low low mileage next week, and then kind of prepare for the half marathon itself. And I guess probably see you next week on race day. Good run, good day, good week. See you guys later. All right, so a little bit of an update. I missed last week, so now we're gonna just go over pretty much week 4 and week 5. Yeah, 2 pretty good weeks. Made a little bit of progress in all my categories, all my resolutions. I'm working on 2 scripts right now, currently. A couple short stories as well. One of those scripts is kind of based on my time as parking attendant, and also about the city of Huntington Beach, which is kind of a crazy city that I don't think a lot of people know about. I certainly didn't know about how much goes on there before I started working there, even though I've worked there my whole life. There's a certain sort of craziness to it all, and that's something that's been on my mind a lot. Just working there, working this job, seeing a lot of the people who come through the beach downtown Huntington Beach. So yeah, that's been a lot on my mind, and I think I got a pretty good idea for a script. So I'm working on that. Working on about a page a day. Another short story I'm working on, about 1,000 words right now, is about being a park attendant. This one specifically with a spider that I see a lot of the times in one of the booths. So spiders, I think I mentioned before, a big fear of mine, and my relationship with spiders has always been kind of in the back of my mind, and I thought it was something to explore. Especially, I think I was motivated a little bit by Moby Dick, and just how his relationship, the book's relationship to the white whale, and my relationship to my white whale, the spiders in all the corners of the rooms. So yeah, just working on those. I wrote a couple poems. I should publish those on my Substack. I've been trying to get into writing more poetry, just finding inspiration every now and then, and for a little bit I was kind of hesitant on that. I don't know really why, but it was, I don't know, didn't really come to me. But I went down to the wetlands by where I live, and that's kind of one of my favorite places to be. It's real quiet, except for the nasty drone of cars that go down PCH, which is really unfortunate. But you can kind of find some places here and there where it's not too bad. You can listen to the rush of the water, the waves, especially today. I went there today and it was really relaxed. The wind was blowing, so a nice cool wind. It's been hot lately, but there was a cool wind going through, cool breeze. It felt really nice, and the waves were kind of just crashing, and it was really kind of relaxing. And the birds were out, and it's one of my favorite places. And there I kind of got inspired to write a poem, just about the birds and about the wildlife around there. So I'll post that on my Substack and share that with you guys. Just one second, I think a plane is coming over. One second. So I did only watch one movie this week, stink chair, and that was Stuck in Love, movie from the early 2000s. And if you didn't even know that, you could probably tell just by watching it, because it really had that 2010s vibe, real indie-like, with some really good soundtrack, some old actors. Well, not really old actors, but younger actors before they really became famous, with one of the, I think it's the Wolf brothers, and also Logan Lerman, and I think it's Greg Kinnear or something like that, of Little Miss Sunshine fandom. Yeah, and pretty great film. I really enjoyed it, especially because it is about a family of writers, and how can you not love that as an aspiring writer or a writer? It's pretty great because it's like 3 different types of writers on different points of their career, different backgrounds, and also besides just being about writing, it's about love. Really kind of a nice, sweet film in the end. And I really enjoyed it. I would just give it a check out. I feel like I kind of say that about all movies, but I do love movies. I haven't watched many of them lately. Uh, Pretty much just been focused on reading, I guess you could say. Doing a lot of that. So I think let's move on to the books I watched, or the books I read the past 2 weeks. Okay. So I did in fact finish Ancient Christianites. Yeah, and it was pretty great book. It just more of the same. Just about the history of Christianity, and yeah, I recommend it. Just for the historians out there, for the Christians out there. Interesting read. Just church history, Christian history. But yeah, I got a couple books that I also got from the library. This one actually being the Newport Beach Library. One being this full psychology book, Carl Jung's collected works. I've been meaning to give Jung a read for a while now. Obviously, he's such a large figure in the world of psychology. Him and Freud are basically the two you always hear about. And I've heard about his archetypes. I studied a little bit about him in college, or at least my professors mentioned him quite a bit. So I want to see what that's all about. I got this kind of collected work, just the really basic stuff. Not even just his actual collected work, but just a commentary on his collected works, which I guess it makes it a lot more accessible. And so far, so good. It's pretty accessible. I'm about 30 pages in, and it's a lot about those word tests, WAEs, is what they call them, word association kind of test, the inkblot ones. I think it's inkblot. I guess not as clear as I thought it might be, but yeah, pretty interesting. A lot about complexes and how we humans have them, whether we know it or not. A lot of subconscious, the conscious. Really interesting conversation so far. By two authors, one of them being like a historian, taught courses in Jungian studies, professor of applied psychoanalysis. So I think pretty reliable writers, and so far so good. Pretty interesting, despite it being kind of a little bit of a tough read, just because I have no background in psychology at all. But yeah, pretty interesting. And also from the library, Newport Beach Library, I got some poetry from the Romantic Poets. And no, it's not like romance. It's about the period of romance, kind of following the Enlightenment. Three of the big poets from that time, Blake, Wordsworth, and Coleridge. So far, I'm through Blake's. Pretty interesting. I think I recognize one poem, "The Tiger," which I think Bob Dylan was actually inspired by a lot, and I think I'd say I really did like that poem. And you know what? Maybe let's see if we can give that a read, because I really do think it's good. And I think it's good to recite poetry. They say that's the real reason the poetry was ever written. And it was written to, I mean, not even written. At first it was, to be pronounced in the square, or wherever the original poets would go. Not like the Odyssey or anything like that, but like the original first poems. None of those epics, I guess you would say. So I would like to read a passage from The Tiger. It goes, "Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forest of the night, what immortal hand or eye could frame thy fearful symmetry? In what distant deeps or skies burnt the fire of thine eyes? On what wings dare he aspire? What the hand dare seize the fire? And what shoulder, and what art, could twist the sinews of thy heart? And when thy heart began to beat, what dread hand and what dread feet? What the hammer, what the chain, and what furnace was thy brain? What the anvil, what dread grasp, dare its deadly terrors clasp?" When the stars threw down their spears and watered heaven with their tears, did he smile his work to see? Did he who made the lamb make thee? Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forest of the night, what immortal hand or eye dare frame thy fearful symmetry? Yeah, so I think that's pretty good. And I think a lot of people think that's pretty good. I think pretty famous poem. If you even just have a small interest in poetry itself. Yeah. So we're trying to read more poetry, as well as then continue to read Moby Dick, my fiction. Made some progress, not as much as I wanted to, but it's a long book and there's some difficult parts. A lot of seafaring words in this book that make it a little difficult. That is a little tough for me sometimes, but there's other times where it's just kind of the brilliant prose of Herman Melville. And I think one chapter that blew me away was just his conversation of the color white. Seriously, pretty amazing. That's some of the best writing I've ever read. It's something I aspire to be as a writer. So I've been reading this, trying to take it slow. That's the way it should be read. I feel like anything you read, just read it slow. That's one thing I have trouble with, is actually reading too fast, because I have this real weird determination to finish a book, and that kind of gets in the way, and I start trying to read fast. So just taking this one slow. So far 10 pages a day at least, I feel like, is good. Just to make sure I'm slowing myself down, really reading and absorbing everything I'm reading. And that's the fiction. And I guess that leads us to probably the biggest book I've read in a while, I feel like. And it's a pretty popular book. You may have heard of, and that's Atomic Habits. So I kind of started out with the audiobook on this one, just because I had been, thinking a lot about my habits already. And then something happened where I just saw just a quote from this book, and it really inspired me. It really rung true with me, and I wanted to read more of it. And even just listen to the Audible, I was instantly hooked. And it felt like it was telling me everything I kind of already knew, but, making it more accessible and giving a bigger picture and making me understand how important habits are in our daily lives, whether we know it or not. And the book, it's very basic understanding, is just about how little changes can go a long way. And that just felt, people always talk about that, but no one really takes that to heart. And this book really kind of gets that point across, I feel like. And it also made me think of something I saw the other day, which was a quote about how in movies, people always go back in time and they worry about how a little change can make a huge impact, or just doing something a little different in the past will have a huge impact in the future. And no one really thinks too much about doing that in their everyday lives we live right now. So that I heard that quote, and then I was thinking about this book, and it all kind of hit. And it talks a lot about identity and doing things, understanding the person you want to be and doing the things, creating those habits to become the person you want to be. And as a person who unfortunately is constantly thinking about his own age and where he should be in his career and stuff like that, that was really important to me, to think that if I start making little changes now, that time will actually be on my side. And they say that 10 years ago was the best time to start, but now was the second best time to start. All these things kind of just got me thinking, and it really inspired me. I won't lie, this book inspired me. There is a little bit of embarrassment almost, I feel like, with liking such a popular book. But I really do think this is
and a little like a self-help book. I've never really tried one, and I feel like this is very important. No matter who you are, no matter where you are in your career, I just think it's extremely important. This book I would recommend to everyone. I do think this could change some people's lives, and I do feel like it's changed my life in some sort of way. Now I constantly think about my habits. In this book they talk about habit stacking and kind of putting everything, all your habits, making one flow into the other, so you become the person you want to be at the end of the day. And this is kind of what this whole channel is about, right? And it talks a lot about, it goes a lot after goals. When that's kind of tough because the whole thing about this channel is having goals and trying to complete your goals. And it kind of puts down goals as something that once you achieve, you kind of what do you do next? And it's not a good result from whatever you're trying to do. And really, what it is there's your systems to make it so you can become whatever you want. Like if I want to be a writer, if my system makes it so I write, then I am a writer. Not because I wrote a novel. I consistently write. Writing a novel is a byproduct of writing. I'm a runner. If I start running, then I'm a runner, and then runners run marathons. So it's all about your systems. And I think that was a tough thing for me when I started this channel. Was I have all these goals, but how exactly do I accomplish them? There I have this and this. How do I get from here to there? It seems pretty simple, but it's not. It's actually really confusing on how you do these things. And this kind of gave me a blueprint, honestly, for how to do those things, how to become all these types of persons, all types of parts of me that I want to be. So yeah, if I haven't said enough, yes, highly recommend this book. So good. Definitely think you'll see the impact of this on the future of this channel. So yeah, that's all the books and everything I've been up to lately. So yeah. All right, week 5. It's kind of a weird week. I have my half marathon 6 days, so I'm kind of feeling my legs out. Not really sure how to attack this, but I'm gonna keep it light up until then. I'm thinking maybe about 20 miles before. Maybe my last run being Friday before my half marathon Sunday. Just do 5 miles today. Got a little bit of the left calf tightness. Definitely a tightness, not really pain, but definitely it's tight. I can feel it. So I'm gonna take a pretty easy day, see where I'm at there. Maybe just switch my runs out. Usually I do a long run today. I'm gonna do that tomorrow instead. Do 5 miles today. Kind of a warm up because definitely feel better after the day after running, not after 2 days of rest. I don't know why that is. I think just because my legs are warm. So I get 5 miles today. Gonna see. I'm not gonna try to push too hard. Just gonna see where I'm at. Yeah, feeling good. Gonna do it. Bye-bye. Okay, 5 miles. That was the right move for sure. My foot was hurting. It's a little banged up from the last half marathon that I ran on Friday. I'm not gonna lie. So I think this is a good warm up. I got like this muscle behind my right knee. Kind of bothered me the most out of everything. But it kind of ran off. Felt good by the end of it. Took a real easy pace. I think it was in zone 3 the whole time, which is like a first ever for me. And it felt good. My legs feel good. Now I feel like I'm kind of shook. Some of that stiffness from the run on Friday out. And I think I'm ready for the week. I think I'll hit the 10 miles tomorrow pretty hard. Half marathon pace, I'm thinking, just to see where I'm at. Because I'm trying to be 150, hour 50 on Sunday. And I think it's definitely doable. I mean, I ran 150 on last Friday, so yeah. Think good. I'm thinking good. Think I'm ready. I feel good. Probably get it again tomorrow. See ya. It's my birthday. I'm turning 28. I just ran 28 miles. Just kidding. I only ran 10. But I ran it at my fastest pace yet. Well, for 10 miles for sure. Beat that record that I had going. Feel pretty good. Was testing on my legs a little bit today. Got a half marathon in a couple of days, so want to see where I'm at. Had a couple leg issues, leg worries, but you know what? It all worked out. Felt great. Didn't bother me at all. I think I have a really good chance to get under an hour 50 on Sunday. Hour 45 it feels like it's right there. Should I push it? I don't know. That would be nice for sure if I got that, but I don't know. We'll see. See how it goes race day. I think I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye. Today's run was not good. Not very good. I have my half marathon on Sunday. Today's Friday, so I want to do a 5-mile just kind of shakeout. And yeah, it's pretty difficult. My heart rate was really high. That was the one thing I noticed the whole way through. I was taking it pretty slow, and I was up like high 160s, which is like zone 4 for me, and that's way too high. I wanted to run today in zone 3 the whole time. But I think that has a lot to do with the heat. Today it's 77 degrees out at the beach, and that's pretty hot. I see on the news around the country, it's like in the 20s, in the 30s, below zero, and gotta say, I'm pretty jealous of those people. They don't understand how hard it can be running in this heat. And I mean, there's not a cloud in the sky. I mean, come on, it's tough out here. But yeah, it's hot, and there was a lot of wind on the way coming back. So as you can see, I'm very sweaty, more than usual, but that's all right. Someone just walked by. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I did my shakeout. I shook it out. But we'll see how the half marathon itself goes. So I'm gonna push it. Definitely probably won't be this hot. It's a lot earlier in the morning, but yeah, I'm sweating. I'm sweating up a storm. More than usual. But yeah, I guess I'll see you guys on the half marathon day. Peace out. Last thing I would like to talk about is my half marathon on Sunday, February 1st. Yes, Sunday, February 1st. Yeah, so my goal going into that run was to run an hour and 50 or under an hour 50. The previous week before that, I had ran at 151 pace for a half marathon, which was actually 9 minutes faster than my previous half marathon in early October. So I thought just below an hour 50 would be good. I kind of took it easy coming up to the race. As you may see, and that last run I had was not great, and I kind of go into detail with that. But on Sunday, I ran a hour 41 half marathon. It's about 7:43, 7:44 pace, and yeah, it felt pretty great. It was in my hometown of Huntington Beach, so I kind of maybe had a home field advantage. Who knows? But yeah, got there kind of early, but time kind of flies. Getting there was kind of tough, so I got there just honestly about 5 minutes before the race began. Before because I'd used the restroom and I ran over there, and it was kind of hard getting in the crowds. Very congested at the beginning of the race, so that's when my first mile was around like 8:20. But after that, I kind of had an idea to go for something even greater than under an hour 50. After that, I think my second mile was close to under 8 minutes, and I felt really good. And I thought, you know what? Let's try to go for under 145, because I knew that was right around under 8 minutes. And I decided, I'll push myself. If I push myself now and I need to slow down later, that's quite all right. At least I know that I tried to go 100% the whole entire race. And I continued that pace, going faster and faster. I think the adrenaline was running. It was a beautiful, picture perfect day. I felt great. I had a runner's high.
And yeah, just kind of ran the fastest I ever did, and got a time I'm very proud of. I was in I think the top 10% of males, top 6% for everyone in the half marathon. So yeah, I was very happy about that. I feel pretty proud about that. It's a huge accomplishment for me in my running career. Kind of validified myself as a runner. Um, if I didn't already need validation, because I do run a lot and I make it a huge part of my days and my life. But yeah, I don't think it would be hyperbole to say it was the greatest run of my life, the fastest and longest I'd ever gone. And I pushed myself, and I never really felt injured, or there wasn't a point where I thought I couldn't do this or sick or anything like that. I just felt great all the way through. And yeah, it felt good to have a run like that. And it kind of made me more inspired to run the marathon. I think I'm done with half marathons now. I think I do have a little bit of a, being so close to 140. I want to get under that one day, maybe 130s one day. Who knows? Who knows? That Yeah, it is possible. I'm not gonna say it's not. I mean, I'm the resolutionist. I'm gonna say it's not possible. It is possible. So I'll do that for one day. One day I'll try to be an hour 30. Maybe that's 2027's resolutions. But right now I am laser focused on that marathon. I have a couple um, in minds that I'm thinking about doing. One of them being another one in Orange County, and maybe even the San Diego Rock and Roll Marathon, which might be a little early for, um, I think it's in March. That might be a little tough training wise, but I'm ready to go beyond 13. I think I want to do a 15-mile run here pretty soon and start extending things. But other than that, I feel very excited, very poised to start training for a full marathon and check that off this of my resolutions. So yeah. Other than that, I just want to thank you guys for listening to me once again. Listen to all my my marathon training, all my book talk, movie talk. Appreciate it. Everyone who watches this, even if it's just 1, 2 people, um, makes me very happy. So I thank you, and I will see you next week. Bye.